Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here today with undefeated amateur fighter Raymond Lawley, and oh boy, we got a fun one here for you because he's pretty fresh to the MMA scene here in local fighter, at least for me, here out of Idaho. And I feel like it's nice because we don't really get too much representation, it feels, right? So I love it that we could represent the state. But tremendous talent. Already having problems trying to find fights after just being 2 and 0. So, sir, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. How we feeling today? How's because I know we have a fight coming up on August 21st at Mountain Force MMA 27. So how's camp going and how are we feeling so far?
Camp's been phenomenal so far. We've had a long camp. It's an 8-week camp, so we've been outsourcing through other gyms, getting good sparring partners in,
Hmm.
a lot of strength and conditioning. So I feel great.
That's good stuff. I mean, probably as much as you want to hope for, right? And a couple weeks out, so it's time when the camp might be picking up, right?
Oh yeah, it's starting to get real hard. Starting to wake up every morning, hurting a little bit more.
Hey, just the nature of the game at this point, huh? So, just want to start us off. So, you're only 20 years old, couple fights with some as amateur. So, since you're feeling so recent, pretty much, what kind of got you into the sport? How long have you been practicing MMA, and what made you decide to get on into the actual fighting recently?
So I was always like real scrappy kid, like always getting in fights at school, street fights, all that. And I ended up graduating a little early, switched to online school and started working. And one of my coworkers actually invited me to come box with him. And initially, I didn't like it. So I was like, "This sucks. The cardio is horrible. I hate this." And then he switched gyms and he asked me to come in and give these new coaches a chance. And
Hmm.
came in and had an amazing Muay Thai coach and fell in love with it. So I've been training for now almost a year and a half. So about a year and a half. I've been wrestling since I was a little kid, so it's been awesome.
So you mentioned boxing, the Muay Thai, the wrestling. Do you got a favorite kind of martial art to practice?
Um, Jiu-jitsu and wrestling for sure. That's my base, so I love it. But you gotta love striking. It sucks when you get clipped sometimes.
Well, I'm sure it's glad that it's probably a good thing they really want to focus on that. You already have that wrestling background. It's what everyone has in the UFC nowadays, is what it seems like that. Or maybe the every once in a while you get or a lot of BJJ. Sometimes the kickboxing, but you got a good mix already. So it seems like you're pretty set up, and that really goes to show why you might already be having some problems finding fights. So is that kind of surprising to you? Because, I mean, your first fight you broke in 2020, 21-second first round knockout. Then your second fight, unanimous decision, totally handled that one. I wouldn't say it was easy, but you definitely made it look like that. What's it like already being in this situation?
Honestly, it sucks. It's because I finished my first fight and I was ready to roll. I was ready to just keep the ball rolling on more fights, and then COVID hit,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like probably 3 months. Everything was kind of shut down, and then Mountain Force started promoting fights again for June. And I tried to get on the card, he couldn't find me anybody. Then so I took a little break, just kind of chilled out, helped one of my teammates out for a camp, and then I tried to get on short notice on that card, and they didn't want to meet me at a catch weight. Sucked to see. And so I got scheduled for a late September fight in 2020,
Mm-hmm.
and COVID pushed the event another month. So I was 3 days away from weigh-ins, cutting away all the good stuff, and got pushed to October. So in October, I showed up down in Logan, Utah for weigh-ins, and my opponent ran a high temperature right there. I'd cut weight, made weight, standing in medicals. He ran a high temp, and he ran it
Yeah.
only once. They ran him 6 times, and only one time, the first time, it was a glitch, I think, in their little temp reader,
Mm.
and they pulled the fight right there. It's kind of screwed me over. I spent a lot of money to get down there.
Mm-hmm.
I'd sold a lot of tickets, and my family was pissed. I was pissed, and then from there, I was supposed to fight in December. Another opponent pulled out on me, and but first, before that, it was hard finding a fight. A few guys had said no, and so I was kind of like 3 weeks out, got a new opponent. Then he pulled out, and then they pushed the event another 3 weeks and try to give me some some kid. I mean, he wasn't really training serious, taking it serious, and I
Mhm.
decided it'd be best if I just took a break. I'd been in camp since September, kind of
Yeah.
just grinding hard, no fights. My body was broken, and then in January, my buddy fought, cornered for him. So then I was excited to fight again, and we had one scheduled for March, and my opponent pulled out.
Oh
Weighing
my
Eve again. He said he had a staph infection, and they sent me pictures and stuff, and he's had to have it for like 3 weeks. He's just kind of waiting, using it as an excuse to get out of the fight. So
Mm.
it sucks, but I got another short notice one in May and ended up having a rough cut and made it down there. Crazy story. Got down there. I was overweight by a pound and a half,
Mhm.
and my opponent ended up not passing his drug test. So the fight was going to be canceled again, and so I ended up going and cutting more weight, coming back, making the limit, and didn't know if I was going to fight till noon on fight day. So I woke up, I was like eating pancakes and stuff and having a good time, and they gave me the call, and I was like, I don't know if I'm ready, but fuck it, we're going to do it. We're going to get down to business, and I had a blast. So
That's ridiculous. I feel like if you're able to just get like $5 every time a fighter pulled out, you probably make more money than the UFC fighters right now.
oh yeah.
That's insane. Do you know why people might be, maybe a little hesitant to fight already? Is that 21-second knockout that just stands out to everyone?
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of guys in the amateur world, they're kind of like, they see my pictures online. I look a little intimidating, and they see the 21-second knockout, and a lot of guys get nervous. It's either their first fight, second fight. They want good fights. They want to build a good record. But I think a lot of guys need to start looking at it like you just need the ring experience. Your amateur record probably disappear after a few years being pro. It's not that important. You just need ring time, and but a lot of people just want to build padded records, I feel like. So you get a few real fighters down here and around the Pacific Northwest that they'll fight anybody, and those are the guys that I like. So, but all these new guys, they get nervous. It's a big deal. It's like you never fought, even if like some of these guys they never fought before, and now they're taking fights, never been punched in the face. They get real nervous come that fight week. Even I get nervous. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
man, do I really want to do this? And then I just embrace all the emotions, don't build it up to be bigger than it actually is, and just have fun.
Love that. I mean, we've talked to a few of the like MMA, UFC fighters that we've had the pleasure of talking with. Like, I think most notably Josh Emmett, he said that he doesn't like to fight, uh, which is almost hilarious just because of how damn good he is and where he is in the UFC. So, what do you think about that? Like, I mean, it's only been a short time, but you probably understand why people might be a little hesitant to step in the cage then?
Yeah, I think some guys like I like to fight. I think it's fun. But I think some of the best fighters in the world don't like hurting other people, but they love to compete. And I think that makes a difference in a great athlete is if you can compete at the highest level and have fun doing it. I think it doesn't matter if you don't like violence, if you don't like to hurt somebody, you're having a blast. It's your competitive nature. And like Josh Emmett, he's a monster, and he's been competing since he was a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wrestling, and it's in his nature. It's ingrained in his brain to compete. So I think that's the next step. A lot of wrestlers transition over to MMA and make their money and have fun doing it.
Now, one of the things I really need to talk about with you is something that's very noticeable if you go onto your Instagram, which we'll have linked and tagged and everything. I mean, there's a picture where you don't look like you do now. So, I think that's safe to say, right? So that's safe to
Yeah,
say.
yeah, absolutely.
This is a story that I can heavily relate to as well. So, can you take us through this almost unthinkable like kind of weight loss transformation?
Yeah, so in late 2017 and early 2018, I ended up hitting the scales at 240. I was super overweight, super unhealthy. And I remember I was just looking in the mirror, I was like, man, I got to make a change and make a change now. And ended up going through a bad breakup. And so I decided just to hammer down on it and ended up, I was gone in pretty good shape. It was about 185 pounds. I was starting to see my abs and stuff, and I was addicted to it. And then I was like, man, I feel like athletically, I feel great. And so when I gave MMA a try, it helped me out a lot just to be already in shape
Mm-hmm.
and already be motivated to better myself. And then once I started training consistently, my body even changed more. I mean, I fight at 145, and to think 3 years ago I was up 240 pounds is mind blowing. So I don't know how I did it. Like I
Hmm.
tested with a bunch of diets, lifting, all that good stuff, and ended up losing the weight really fast. And I thought it was going to affect me pretty badly, but
Hmm.
I feel great. I feel super strong. I was into powerlifting a lot when I was a kid, and but I just let myself go. It
Hmm.
was started getting bad after like my sophomore year. I'd end up breaking my leg. It was coming into wrestling season. I was getting ready to wrestle, and ended up breaking my leg. My tib fib myself and shattered my growth plate in my right leg, and I
How'd
was
you do
out for a
that?
while. And after that, I was kind of scared to do any sports.
How'd you break
I
your
was
leg like that?
I got somebody stomped me out in PE hockey. Somebody stomped my leg out, and at first I thought I initially just
No
sprained my
way.
ankle, and I was like, no big deal, and got wheelchair down. We ran and got some X-rays, and ends up I had a few breaks.
Man, what'd you do to piss him off that much?
I don't know.
Some
I'm a
PE
competitive guy.
hockey.
Yeah, I'm a competitive guy. I think he was too. He's a little Colombian kid and soccer player. He loved to compete, so he
Oh,
just
you got your ass
took
whooped
me
by a
out.
soccer player. Come on
Yeah,
now.
I
That can't
know.
look good on the record. You better hope
Yeah,
that one goes away
exactly.
like these amateur fights eventually do.
Yeah. Yeah, and after that, I was just terrified to do anything really. So just kind of partied and ate garbage and got big, and I'd had enough. And I knew I just because I'm not that tall. I'm
Hmm.
5'9". I was shorter back then. I was probably like 5'7". So I was huge. Like I grapple with guys that are 230, 240. They're like 6'1", 6'2". I'm like, you guys are huge humans. To think how big I really was, being as short as I was, is I didn't even realize it. So I'm
Hmm.
glad I've changed my life. And surprisingly, like I thought I'd retain a lot of loose skin on my body, but people can't even tell I was overweight. It's
It,
um it's amazing.
and it's
Everybody
probably,
asks now.
uh-huh. It's
They're
it has to be a fantastic feeling,
oh yeah
being that much lighter. I could relate to that. Like, I guess similar. I mean, you broke your leg pretty bad. I tore everything after I was finished playing college football, and then I was at like 310, give it a year in college, and I dropped 100. So
that's
I mean,
awesome.
we know what it's like. It's nice.
Oh
I got
yeah
all these stretch marks. I got all these stretch marks. I'm
yeah
not as ripped as you are because I'm
yeah
still not there yet. I mean, please, like, anyone, for all you guys watching, go check out his Instagram. It will be linked. Do shredded, or just go to his Tapology page. That's a
yeah
great, got a solid picture up there. They really did you a favor.
yeah. Oh yeah. I was hoping that one would get confirmed. I mean, I look pretty ripped up when it comes to weigh-in time, and I was like, everyone's like, "Dang, you must feel good being that lean." I'm like, absolutely not. Like I feel horrible. And then fight day, like my last fight, I put on a lot of weight
Hmm.
after, but
What's a walking weight? What do you usually like to be around?
usually before camp, I'm usually around 172. So, and then it depends on the camp. Like if I have a
Hmm.
long camp, I can cut a lot of weight. But if it's short, I like to be about 64.
Hmm.
So my weight fluctuates a lot.
Hmm. That's not bad. I mean, average only about 25 pounds over. That's not too much if you give it like what, like six typical 6 week camp.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, a lot of
yeah. This
sauna
one,
time.
yeah, yeah. This time I came in a lot lighter. So I'm like right now I'm about 160. I got 10 pounds at a catch weight of 150 for this fight. So I feel
Easy.
I feel amazing.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
And I just kind of want, especially since we're so early, there's a lot that we can kind of look at and kind of look out into your career. So, do you have like any big goals set up right now, or are you just taking one fight at a time, or where do you see this MMA in the fight business take you?
Um, my main goal right now is to end my amateur career with a 5-0, 6-0 record with at
Hmm.
least one belt from an amateur promotion, and then from there, I want to take about 6 months off and really train for professional rules. Elbows and knees to the head. At least have like be defensively sound,
Hmm.
because if you're not used to taking those shots, those can really compromise you in a fight. And then from there, take a pro debut. I want to
Hmm.
be pro. I'll be 21 soon, but I want to be a pro fighter hopefully before I'm 22 or when I'm 22. And then from there, just take the right fights. That's the record that really matters.
Hmm.
Take the right fights, hard ones, but just be well prepared. Move out of state if I have to, and train my butt off. Hopefully, be able to pull sponsors and be able to train full time, not work anymore, and just envelop my life in it, breathe it, and live it. So
That's perfect. You see, definitely a long one, and you're off to a fantastic start. So it's hard not to imagine that. And then, I guess, being an MMA fighter, you're probably a pretty good, pretty large MMA fan at that point, huh? So I'm
oh
sure.
yeah.
I don't know. Have you been to paying attention to the Tough 29 season?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Yeah. So is that something that you maybe dream about a little bit? Would that be a opportunity you'd be looking forward to, possibly? Because they have these fighters that are either have a decent amount of professional experience, very little professional experience, but in some good amateur. So is that something you might try to be looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great opportunity. I'd like to do the contender series. I think it's a little easier to get in through there. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they hit me up for the Ultimate Fighter, I'm taking that shot. We've had a few guys out of Idaho compete on there.
Mm-hmm.
Miles Hunsinger actually on this season. He's out of Nampa, so it was pretty cool to see him in there. It sucks he didn't get a fight. I was rooting for him, but things happen, and I'm excited. I just any opportunity at all to get into any large promotion, I'm taking it.
Hey, that'd be fantastic. Not only do you get a huge recognition, not only do you have the chance to get a UC contract, you get to live in a fancy ass house for like 4 and 6 weeks. I'm sure that'd be a nice step up. Nothing against Kuhn. It's a fantastic city. Meridian might be a
Yeah,
little
it's all
bit
right.
better. Might be a little bit better, but I mean, living in a house like that would be pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, it'd be a big upgrade from out here, that's for sure.
And so, one of the last things that we really like to do with everyone that we have on here is run through what we call fighter favorites, okay? So, just top of
Alrighty,
the head, we're going to run through. I got 5 things, and I just want to see what you have to say, okay? All
alrighty.
right. Starting us off, favorite music.
Um, I'll have to say like electronic music. I
Like
think that's
rave?
the best. Not like rave music, almost kind of like EDM. I think it's the best
Okay.
to like train to.
Is that what you walk out to?
No,
No.
I walk out to rap music usually, something that everybody in the crowd knows.
I like
They
that. You
can
got to
kind
start
of
a little bit of
vibe
a
out with
party,
me.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Favorite food, especially not in camp. Like maybe just getting out of camp, what's your go-to?
Usually pizza.
Do we got a special kind of pizza, special place?
Um, I'd have to say I like anything like deep dish pizza, right?
Yes.
Idaho, actually, I really like Idaho pizza. That place is bomb. So
I
that's like
might
right down the road for me.
mhm.
So
I might sound like a fake Idahoan, but Idaho pizza's a little overrated.
it
Overrated.
is, yeah,
But if they want to sponsor us, you especially me, go ahead.
yeah.
I'll retract every statement I've ever said about them. Uh, favorite hobby?
And I'd have to say probably just hanging out with my friends. I don't do much other than hang out and train now.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you work and you work, and then you do a little more work, and then you go to sleep, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, it's a good style. Do you have a favorite movie or TV show?
I do not. I
No.
don't I don't get much time to watch
Hmm.
TV. Which sucks.
Nothing before fighting either.
We try to watch like we'll try to watch like old fights or like just kind of like we'll end up watching like that Conor McGregor documentary or something
Mm-hmm.
stupid like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just feel like you're living that crazy fighter life. Like we'll rent out an Airbnb when we're out of state and we'll just park it on the couch, stay up to like 3 in the morning after weight cutting, eating and drinking, and just watch something kind of almost a little cringy about fighting. Like,
Well, you go for a Rocky kind of stream.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And
One
then
time, one time we watched that Cobra Kai like right before one of my teammates fights, and it was the funniest thing because like we're all wrestlers and we're watching karate guys go at it.
hey, Stephen Thompson's a fun guy, bringing the
Oh
karate
yeah,
style. That's good stuff. And then last thing, favorite fighter.
I'd have to say Colby Covington. His antics are a little iffy.
Hmm.
You gotta like it sometimes. Sometimes it's a little over the line, but his fight style is something to watch. It's crazy. His pace, his pressure, he just kind of melts guys. It's to emulate that in a fight is
Hmm.
it's hard to do.
Yeah. I
Real
mean,
hard to do.
if you just want to go back to, I mean, I do enjoy Colby Covington. He's easily one of the easiest guys to hate, but I think he can be really funny sometimes. Like he has some really good nicknames for fighters.
Oh yeah,
Best of all, the CPO or the CEO of EPO for
oh yeah,
TJ. I think
yeah.
that's my favorite. But I mean, going back to that fight he had against Robbie Lawler, where he averaged one strike thrown every 2 seconds. I don't think anyone, if you don't really understand like MMA or striking, that's a ridiculous number to do. So if you can even get like half of that, I think you'll be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, that it's crazy. It's like even to try to throw that on a bag. I mean, I think he attempted like 600 and something strikes.
Mm-hmm. Over
To try to throw
25
that even on
minutes.
a bag is tiring.
That yeah, no, I can't even imagine doing that. And so, I mean, since he's your favorite guy, what do you see happening in the rematch with Kamaru Usman coming up here, UFC 268?
I'd like to see him win. I think it's a harder fight. I think Usman's gotten a lot better over time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he absolutely starred Jorge Masvidal. He's hitting like a Mack truck. His wrestling's great.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just depends on how Colby approaches it. I think it depends on who kind of sets the pace for the fight. And I think if Colby needs to mix in his wrestling a little bit more, he needs to mix it up. You can't just stand there and bang with a dude like Kamaru Usman. I mean, he's huge. He doesn't even look like he's 170
Nah,
pounds.
he's a
He's a
middleweight
giant.
fighter.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it'll be a hard fight though. I
Mm-hmm.
think Usman is probably going to win, but I'd like to see Colby win. On paper, it's Usman, but in my heart, I think Colby.
That's good stuff right there. Yeah, no, Kamaru Usman's gone a lot scarier ever since he started training with Trevor Wickman and Justin Gaethje. I mean, two guys that,
Absolutely.
I mean, Gaethje, if you want to talk about someone that throws down, talk,
Yeah, he's crazy to watch.
yeah, he's a lot of fun. Yeah, but so looking forward. Let's cap things off. Looking forward to your fight, August 21st, Mount Forest MMA 27, taking place in Pocatello, Idaho. How you see this one going?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if
If you,
got myself a first round finish for this one. I've been working real hard, and if not, then it's gonna be fireworks for 9 minutes straight. So
I was worried you were going to
I'm in
say
shape
he's going
and
to pull
I'm
out.
ready to go. Yeah, I'm ready to roll. I mean, I've never been this excited for a fight. I've never had this good of a camp. I mean, I've been able to spar with some of the best professionals in the state, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing real well everywhere. And now it's just time to put it in the cage.
Is there a
So,
certain game plan you're rolling with?
honestly, obviously, it's going to be like initially to wrestle,
Mm-hmm.
but if we can't succeed on that game plan, we got A through Z, all the game plans, every scenario. So, gonna make it a dirty fight. Gonna make it to where it's my advantage, cardio wise and skill set wise, and use my physical abilities just to dominate.
Well, sir, I cannot wait for that. I'm super excited to see that. Looking forward to seeing you go 3-0 as a amateur. Get close to that 5 fight mark so we can see the professional and really start to get things rolling. So, I mean, thank you so much for coming on, Raymond. It's always a pleasure to talk with you guys. Love talking with younger fighters like this too, just because it's really cool to see you at the beginning.
Yeah,
Really hungry guys too. And I mean, I didn't mean that as a pun, going off of maybe the weight loss, but
yeah. Oh yeah.
not as hungry anymore, right? Or maybe even hungry
Even
with the weight cut.
yeah, I think so. Even hungrier.
Well, best of luck to you. Like I said, August 21st up in Pocatello. It's going to be a blast. You cannot miss this one. And, I mean, let's see. You started off really well with that 21 seconds. It's going to be a hard one to top. I'm sure you're going to try to find a way to do that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right. Best of luck, okay?
Alrighty, thank you for having me.
Of course.
Have a good one.
Hey, Raymond, thank you, man. Appreciate you coming on. Uh, yeah, man. It was a good time.
Oh yeah,
But
for sure.
really do, man. Really hope you get this one. I really hope he doesn't pull out. And yeah, no, that would suck.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
And,
I mean, we might have to shorten it down to 3 if that keeps happening. So 3 fights.
hey, if you just want to make the move to professional sooner rather than later, it's not bad. Yeah, but shout out to you. Love that Black Bay got in touch with us. This was good.
Absolutely. We'll have to do it again.
Hey, once you get that knockout, I'll have to hit you up. Okay, sir.
Alrighty, sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, man. Have a great day. Thanks for
Yep.
joining us.
Yep, you too.